voice, and all the other teachers said, it's going to be terrible, because what happens is they argue amongst themselves. The class won't agree on anything. They'll want 3 different themes for this. They won't be able to agree who's going to do what. They'll be infighting. It'll be so difficult. But that didn't turn out. That freshman year, y'all did pretty much anything that was suggested. You pulled together. You cooperated. If you recall, one of the parts that you could win points on, and normally you expect the freshmen to come in last, was doing a video. And you had to do a video between 2 classes, so we were stuck with the juniors. And the juniors were doing what the teachers told me they would do, infighting and not being able to agree on anything. So they finally said they weren't going to do a video the day before it was due. So that night at my house, Tico, I think you were at, weren't you at?
I sure was.
And TJ did Mama Said Knock You Out. Y'all remember that video?
Yeah.
And I have that video if anybody would like.
Oh my God.
To blackmail somebody with that video. It's somewhere in my cabinet along with the lip syncing one too. And y'all came in second that year at homecoming.
Yes, we did. They cheated.
No, they didn't cheat you, but I'm going to tell you how you lost. We were new, and we just knew we needed a video.
Yeah.
We didn't know how they graded things. There's 10 points for the entertainment, and 10 points for how long it lasts, and 10 points for costumes, and 10 points for matching the theme. Y'all remember, like with Cardinals, it was shoot down the Cardinals, or with the Vikings, it was sink the Vikings. We didn't know that. Mama Said Take You Out was not the thing. About 10 points is all that kept us from taking first all 4 years.
All right.
Which is amazing. I've never, in all the years out of Goldsboro, seen any class do that. I've never seen a freshman class come in anything but 4th. But to me, the important thing about that was, I think as a class, y'all learned the value of pulling together. You learned that a large group of people with a common purpose can accomplish almost anything. And if you look back to other years that were near you in classes that you beat at things, most of the time they beat themselves by not being able to agree on anything, by not helping each other out, by not pulling together. And it might be, that impresses me because I graduated in 71, but I grew up in the late 60s, along with Corey Thompson's dad. And we, like when Nixon was elected, we wore black armbands. Yeah, so we're going to change the world people. The young generation and the protest group. And y'all learned as a group, if you pull together, you can change things. And you remember that every year after that. I can recall the next year trying to get ready, and it's usually a handful of about 20 people that actually work in the student government or go to the meetings. People would start coming by and dropping hints. I hope I've got the right name. Sydney
Legister.
See the artist? Somebody came by and said, that's who you got to get to the bulletin boards and doors this year. I didn't know him, but I found him. Somebody else would come by and say, this guy right here, he doesn't come to class much, and he doesn't go out for sports. He is really big. We need him for tug of war. Somebody came by and told me about a young man whose grades had never been good enough for him to be in sports, but he's just as fast as Bevan. He needs to be in that relay. And I think that was a tremendous thing that I hope you carry forth in life, the knowledge that working together makes a difference, and if y'all pull together, you can accomplish almost anything. I learned some things from homecoming. I learned how to take a group of young men and try to make them dress like girls and cheer. And let me tell you, that's not easy. I learned that TJ will let you throw him anywhere and lift him anywhere. Because he was the smallest. I mentioned Tico, Missy, you remember the last name. Very tiny little girl that got carried on back steering relays, lifted between two. Anytime it required somebody small, the boys would say, get Missy. I want to carry Missy. I learned making cheerleader uniforms, something that you could not tell at all when he was dressed in regular street clothes. But I had to measure for the skirts that Bevan's waist was about that big, and his thighs were about that big. And he's not easy to fit in the skirt. When it came time to dress up, sometimes your pulling together was a little embarrassing to me. I remember Mayan showing up when we were doing Easter Wayne in a loincloth.
Yes.
And me hoping that Mr. Whitley would not cross him in the hallway. So many things I learned about you. And that I think carried over, just like when people say they remember going to my house and studying for those end of course tests. I think you also learned, in addition to as a group, as individuals, you could be what you wanted to be. You could accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. That's what I tried hard to teach you. And you never let me down. This class excelled. You didn't excel just at homecoming. This class excelled academically. We had some wonderful students. As a class average, we did wonderful in state exams. We excelled athletically in all the different areas of sports. I learned tonight that from Tico something that I thought my children had just been saying to pick on me, but was actually apparently true. I tried to go to at least one of every sports game while I was teaching. And I said, but my children wouldn't sit with me because they said it was embarrassing I yelled too loud. And he said, you were the only person I could hear over Coach Lee. So perhaps it was true. But y'all excelled in so many areas by knowing that you could do it and by pulling together. My final thing I would like to challenge you to is to continue to do that. You think probably right now that you're close to middle age. Yeah, I see we have a few with gray hair. 40's getting near. You know, I always wanted to go to college, but I had children, you know, or so-and-so happened. You're not too old to do anything you want to do. I read a letter in Dear Abby that somebody had written, a mom. She said, I've got 3 children at home and I work. I didn't go to college. I looked into it, but I'm 40 now and it'll take me 8 years to get a 4-year degree because I can only do 2 classes. So if I go back, I'll be 48 in 8 years. To which Abby said, if you don't go to school, how old will you be in 8 years? Yeah? So step back and try something. You don't have to go all back and get everything. If you think you always want to go to school, take a class. You think you always want to draw? Take 1 class in art. I got a master's degree at the age of 37. I went to school in engineering. I didn't start teaching until I was about 30. I changed my mind and switched my occupation. This is a class full of potential. If there's anything you wanted to do when you were younger and you haven't done, do it. You don't have to totally do it right now. Take 1 class, do 1 little thing you want to do, and next year you can do 1 more. Because I'm telling you now, like I told you before, this group could be anything. Thank you.
Mark was saying earlier that you all really came together. When we was planning everything, you all really came together. You kind of made it easy, you kind of made it hard too, but Some of it was kind of tough, trying to get y'all to communicate with me a little bit better, but some people call me about things, itineraries, what's your the itineraries, people kept calling and asking me the same questions, but through it all, we made it through, and I see the results of it from tonight. I saw the results last night, and I saw the results on Friday night. Was it last night, Friday night? I saw it Friday night, Saturday morning, and then today. So I'm kind of tired. But I wanted to thank Satoria Brown personally, because she was the one that when we first started, she donated the $1,000, and it really helped us through this thing. And she wasn't the only one that donated now, but that she was the first one to donate that $1,000. There was a lot of people that donated extra money, and I appreciate them also. You know who you are. And it really made the whole process really move smoothly. So, and I know, well, let me see. I go down my thing here. Keita Isler. Okay. She was really, instrumental in making sure that money was, Minchie and I talked a lot about the money, making sure we pinched on it and make sure everything went right. So she was another. Tico kept calling, and he would call me and text, and he just worried because he wanted this thing to go well also. Hey, whatever. And also to my sister here, she's taking the photos for us, and I want you all to, I'm gonna ask y'all everybody to come up here right quick, and she needs to take a photo before we leave, because I gotta leave early, but she wants to take a photo of the class before we leave, and we need to do that like quickly if y'all can, and I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I really thank you, all of you. Thank you, and thank you. If I didn't call you, decorating committee, can y'all stand for a second? Decorating committee, all the decorators. Also the cookout committee. If y'all would raise y'all hands, stand up. They really work hard on this also. And that's it. Oh, I'm okay. Now I need for everybody to I hate the class 95 to come to the